start with James Cole from Sky Sports News. Go ahead, James.
Hi, Eoin. Good to see you.
Hi, James.
How is everyone? There were a couple of niggles, weren't there, with Bairstow and Milan? Are they both fit?
Yeah, both are fit as of 5 minutes ago as I walked off the training ground. So hopefully available for selection tomorrow.
And how close are you to knowing your team or naming your team?
Neither, James.
What are you still considering?
All the options. I think we always wait until the day of the game to name our side, for various reasons. I think this patch of white ball cricket that we're playing, we're using both to grow the squad, but also utilise positions that we might foresee, positions being available at the World Cup in October, November.
And everyone is fit? Everyone else is fit in the squad?
Yeah, everybody else is fit.
So just on that note, in terms of looking at your options, the guys who've come in, likes of David Willey, Chris Wokes, they've got a genuine chance to impress you during this series then? Yeah,
they do. They're, both Dave and Chris are two guys who have played a lot for us in the past, both 50 over and T20. So we know the potential that they have. It's great that they're back involved specifically for T20 cricket in the build into the World Cup. So I think a lot of the options that we look at for the next 4 weeks will be a serious and genuine look at the player for potentially a World Cup selection down the line.
And at the business end of your preparation, there's the rescheduled IPL. To your knowledge, to your understanding, will you have everyone available at your disposal who you need?
For the World Cup?
Yeah, in that period where the IPL is being rescheduled just before.
Yeah, that's during a tour of our Bangladesh tour. Yeah. So international duty takes precedent.
And how important is that for you in your preparations?
I think it's extremely important. I think by the time we get around to that stage or where we leave for Bangladesh, we'll be as close as we can to our 15, if not already have to commit to a preliminary squad to declare for the ICC. So we're hoping majority of our work will be done by then, and hopefully we won't have many injuries to deal with. We can focus on purely performance-based structures going into the World Cup.
And Alex Hales still isn't involved in this series. He still hopes to play international cricket. Does he have a chance of that?
I think he does. I think when you look at the player that he is and the performances that he puts in around the world, he's a very fine player. But when you look at the players that we have available to us at the moment, we're spoiled for riches at the top of the order. And I think the longer you spend out of a side, the further away you get from that position that you once had. And I think looking at our top order at the moment in particular, even outside our top 3 or 4, we have guys sitting behind there that have drastically improved through to performance in an international shirt and that are taking up positions.
So if his non-selection is purely cricket-based now, there's no trust issue at all?
No, that's not what I said, James.
Okay. But he's in your thoughts then, clearly.
Yeah, you asked, do you think he could play again? And I said yes.
And finally for me then, England playing tonight in the Euros. Just wondering, are you guys going to be watching that? Have you been following it as a group? Yeah,
we've all been following it and very, very excited about the whole of the Euros actually. But 8 o'clock tonight, we'll all be tuned in.
Thank you.
Cheers, James. Let's go to John Etheridge and then Will McPherson. Go ahead, John.
Owen, hi. Apart from a couple of injuries, Stokes and Archer and Don, I think you've pretty much got your strongest squad. Did that take much sort of persuasion on your behalf to get the full strength squad out?
I think it's a rare case. I think planning probably 12 months ago, we didn't, probably 8 months ago, we didn't foresee having the squad available in this manner, in such manner. Given that the IPL was postponed near 5-6 weeks ago now, guys have had time away from the game and a little bit of a rest period, which is unexpected. But I think as a white ball summer progresses, we probably won't have it available for very long. We plan, I suppose, when you distinguish between white ball and red ball, both sides are planning towards big events. Ours is the T20 World Cup, and the guys in red ball is India Test matches and the Ashes. So we'll see full strength squads selected for them, and they take priority given the schedule, how busy it is.
Do you have some sympathy for Joe, who rarely this year certainly has had his best team available for Test cricket?
Sorry, say that again. What was the first part of that, John?
Do you have sympathy for Joe Root, who hasn't had his best team available in any of England's 8 Test matches this year?
I think both of us have a level of understanding, having spoken about it for periods some time ago, full well knowing that there would be areas and fixtures or series where both of us wouldn't have our strongest available squads out. I think identifying the priority when needed in this unbelievably busy schedule. We play more international cricket than any other team in the world. So we can't play players until they fall over. We want guys to be available and firing and focusing on getting into form and rhythm for specific series. And if all continues to go to plan, we should have that.
Yes, thanks.
Okay, let's go to Will and then Matt from ESPN. Go ahead, Will.
Hi, Eoin. You mentioned the Bangladesh tour there. I just thought I'd check. You're expecting to travel this time? Obviously, you didn't 5 years ago. It's quite a different scene, I guess, but you're expecting to be there?
Yes, I am, Will. Yes.
Okay, cool. And just on Ben's absence and how you're planning to use that number 6 slot. Moen, I don't think he's played any of the T20s over the winter, the 8 games. I don't think he's played any of them. Would you see that as an option, getting that second frontline spinner into the side because you're losing Ben's bowling?
Yeah, I think all options. I think Moen was unlucky not to play in India in particular. The pitches that we played on didn't turn at all in that T20 series. So actually a second spinner wasn't the best option. So it's important to try and get guys that we feel will play a part in the World Cup, some form of cricket or opportunity during the next 4 weeks, but also find a balance between looking at other guys as well.
Do the sort of funky straight boundaries at Cardiff come into that? Obviously 2 of the 3 games are there.
Yeah, a little bit, but also the balance of the side. I think you have to be a very, very good side to go in with only 5 bowlers and no all-rounder.
Is Liam Livingstone a frontline bowling option in your mind, or is he just a few overs here and there?
Liam, in my eyes, is an all-rounder. He's not a frontline bowling option.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers, Will.
Okay, Matt Roller, crick info, then Dean.
Hi, Eoin. You're missing probably your key seamer in Jofra in this series. Do you see that as an opportunity to test your depth in that area?
Yeah, I think when we go through stages where all formatted players are missing at some stages where we don't have our full strength squad available, and we see that as a huge opportunity to grow in that position, because when you're talking about guys that like Jofra, Ben, Joss, who have such a busy fixture list for 12 months of the year, if they go down or are injured or are ill, you need to have a backup plan or an alternative that the team balance is comfortable with.
And you sort of addressed it over the winter, but power play wickets haven't been that easy to come by over the last couple of years. With Wokes and Willie both back, are they sort of competing with one another for a role as a new ball specialist?
I actually think there's been a drastic improvement. When we were in India, we did take wickets earlier than expected. It's probably been a marked improvement over the winter. So hopefully we can build on that and look at other areas of improvement alongside it.
And just lastly, if I can, Liam Dawson's obviously been selected as the extra spinner ahead of Matt Parkinson. Could you just talk us through that and what Parkinson has to do to get into your plans?
Yeah, absolutely. Liam for a long time has been our third spinner, if you will. And going into the World Cup 2019 was very much a big part of our plans and continues to be. So we know the quality that Liam has. He goes around the world, and when he has opportunity to do so and bowls big overs in T20 cricket and always fronts up, we're big fans of him. So we know what he has to offer. I think one of the things probably over Parkinson that he offers is his ability to bowl in the power play. So two different bowlers, but also two different roles they can play as well.
Thanks.
Okay, and we'll finish with Dean. Go ahead, Dean. Sorry, mate.
Can't hear you, mate. Sorry.
Muted. Can't hear you, Dean. Sorry. Going to move to someone else's.
All right. There we go.
Sorry, mate. Hello. There's no Joe Root in the T20 squad. Have you kind of made a decision there on where he is in that pecking order? Is it pretty unlikely that he's going to make it to another World T20?
No, there's no definitive answer on anybody at the moment. Obviously, Joe is keen to get back involved as and when he can. We know the demands on his schedule, which have probably led to him not having as many opportunities, but equally in missing games, other guys have come in and done well. David, I think, is a good example of that. But there's no way we're ruling Joe out.
And you touched on it earlier. You said that you didn't talk about trust issues with Alex. Are there still trust issues there?
Sorry, say it again. It went a bit ringy there. What was that?
When James was asking about Alex Hales, you said that you didn't say anything about trust issues. Are there still trust issues there?
Yeah, I think there are conversations to be had between Alex, myself, and the coach, and potentially a few of the players. But trying to get those happening in COVID times has been an issue, but they will happen at some stage.
There's been some issues over historical tweets. You will have known the Ollie Robinson situation. Both yourself and Joss Butler are being investigated by the ECB. How do you reflect on your contribution to that?
I don't really reflect on it a lot. I find it, if I call somebody sir on social media or anywhere around the world, it's a sign of admiration and respect. If that's taken out of context, there's nothing I can control or do about it. So I haven't actually looked into it a lot.
Finally, from me, will the whiteboard team be doing any moments of unity or taking a knee before either series that they play?
Yes, after this, I'm sitting in a match referees meeting, and we will be very much aligned with the test match guys in what they did during the course of their series against New Zealand. We need to okay it with the match referee, the umpires, and the Sri Lankan team first, and whether we'll do it during anthems or during the warm-up is once they allow us to do it, we'll propose one or the other as an option.
So if they say no, then you just do it in the warm-up.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Cheers, Dino.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers, guys.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Cheers.